Thank you, Jim, and thank you to Governor Raimondo, to Senator Reid, and of course, Senator Whitehouse, and Secretary Pryor. Thank you for your extraordinary work. I want to begin by just acknowledging the leadership of our governor, who has provided strategic, evidence-based, effective leadership during a very difficult time for our state. She's being recognized all around the country, and the results in Rhode Island are showing the effects of her strong leadership. So thank you, Governor. And today's announcement is a continuation of that. Across the country, in communities of every type, it's increasingly clear that workers and small businesses urgently need more relief to weather the coronavirus crisis. And even as Rhode Island continues to reopen, too many small business owners are seeing dramatic declines in their revenue, and obviously dramatically different from pre-pandemic places. Many small businesses have taken advantage of the programs such as the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the EIDL program, or the Paycheck Protection Program. But as the impacts of this virus continue, even here in our state and throughout the country, too many small businesses still find themselves running out of options to keep their doors open. And this really remains an all hands on deck moment in the history of our state. And the funding that we're talking about today is another step in this long journey that we face together towards full economic recovery in our state. Restore Rhode Island and the federal funds that will help support this program will hopefully provide a lifeline to thousands of Rhode Islanders who own or are employed by a small business in our state. And as we've all acknowledged today, we're in the midst of a huge public health crisis, and we understand that more help needs to be provided by the federal government. That's why, as Senator Reid mentioned, the House took bold action to help working families and small businesses by passing the HEROES Act, our 5th COVID relief package. If that becomes law, it would provide $5.3 billion to the state of Rhode Island in urgently needed resources, in addition to the $1.25 billion that was allocated in the CARES Act. The HEROES Act is based on 3 important ideas. One, that opening the economy with a science-based path of testing, tracing, treatment, and social distancing. And it provides $75 billion for testing and tracing. It provides strong support for heroes that are on the front lines fighting this pandemic, and to prevent devastating layoffs and service cuts, with nearly $1 trillion to state and local governments who desperately need funds to pay healthcare workers, first responders, and other vital workers who keep us safe. And it also provides $200 billion of funding to ensure that essential workers receive hazard pay. And the third pillar is it puts money in the pockets of families who need it desperately, with direct payments of up to $6,000 per household, new payroll protection measures to keep 60 million workers connected with their jobs, and extends unemployment benefits. And so the HEROES Act is been sitting over in the Senate, and despite the heroic efforts of Senator Reid, Senator Whitehouse, and the other Democrats, Mitch McConnell originally said, let states go bankrupt. Well, let's wait and see what happens. I think he now understands that families need support, cities and towns do, our heroes on the front lines need support, and we have to ensure that we have a national testing strategy. And so he has 3 options. He could pass the HEROES Act as we sent it over, which is my preference. He could take up the HEROES Act and amend it and send it back to the House, or he can pass his own COVID relief package. He can do one of those 3 things. What he can't do is nothing, which is what he's done so far. And we're going to continue to keep the pressure on, because we know that we need additional federal resources back here in Rhode Island, and certainly for our small businesses. But I really want to say that the governor's decision today to take a portion of the federal money that we brought back to Rhode Island to invest in small business is a really important decision, because small businesses are the backbone of our state's economy. And so I'm delighted to be here as part of this announcement. I want to thank the governor for her leadership, thank my senators for their great work. I'm proud to be part of a delegation that includes both of them and Congressman Langevin. And we are working every day together as a team with the governor to make sure that we are bringing resources to our state in the greatest amount possible to help mitigate the consequences of this deadly pandemic. And again, I'll end where I began by thanking the governor for her extraordinary leadership and congratulate her on this great announcement today.